Hi, this is Ranadi Madhu. I've come up with another video. This time the video is on technological talk. A technology which I have recently heard of, and probably this technology I was thinking in my latent needs. I'm from management background, and prior to that I have mechanical engineering and master of technology degree in place. I had this always this needs, the need of having a single line of communication, single line of power transmission, and perhaps my needs have been addressed after almost 40 years. And this topic is in line with the same need, that latent need, which has not been addressed yet, but it is being used in various ways, very secluded way. And this topic is called power line communication. Power line transmission, no, it's a power line communication. Very similar topic. Most of the time you have heard about power line communication, but my topic is power line transmission, and my topic is power line communication. C and T, communication versus transmission. When we ever say that power line transmissions, then you will understand the electrical knowledge according to engineering, electrical engineering background. 11 kV, 420 kV, or 440 volt, whatever it may be. So those kind of theoretical knowledge you are thinking about. But my topic is power line communication. It's not transmission, it's communication. How would you use power line for communication? Power line means the electrical wire for communication. In our system for last 30-40 years, we are using a separate line for communication. We never use a power line or electrical wire system, electrical wire for communication. A telephone wire does not have any power in place. It is a separate telephone wire. If you ever try to see the wire inside a telephone wire, that spiral really wrapped around line of telephone, that wire is having a different format. A string will be there along with a low voltage line will be there. Just by touching that line, you will not feel a shock, as if that line is dead, but it has some data in place. So that is called a separate line, not a power line. And believe me, for last 30-40 years we are using a separate data line instead of a power line for communicating. It's a shame. And the same knowledge has been escalated in such a form that nowadays we have to go for either a broadband connection or a telephone connection to initiate communication line through data. Why there should be a separate broadband connection for data transfer, meaning internet connection? Data means internet connection. Why the same electrical power line cannot be used for internet connection? So my topic is power line communication. Use the power line, use the electrical wire for internet only, for data communication only, which we have neglected for last 30-40 years. Normally what happens at home or at offices, power line or electrical wiring system will have separate wiring system, but the internet wiring system will have a different wiring system, which we call it a data cable in place, a broadband connection in place, wherein data will be transmitted or received through data cable only and retransmitted either through data cable, which we call LAN connection, or WAN connection, or wireless wide area network connection, or wireless connection. So separate data cable or separate non-wiring cable, non-electrical wiring cable will be used for data transfer. And we are using this method of data transferring through wires for past 30-40 years. Nobody has thought why the same electrical wire cannot be used for data transfer or internet data transfer. Why it is not possible? And of late I have seen a video in YouTube wherein they are telling that recent launch of or recent replacement of smart meter data monitoring is being carried out through power line communication, meaning they are not going to use internet data to transmit or receive electrical consumption power. They will use only the electrical wiring or power cable only to transfer the data. The next question comes, won't be there any mix of power as well as data while we are. So all of a sudden my space has been completely filled, so due to which there is some technical video glitches. So what I was talking is that there won't be any sort of mixing of data as well as power if we are using a same single line power and data transmission. And reason of not having any mix is the data will be transferred through high frequency range beyond 50 hertz, and probably this kind of high frequency range can be found in abroad, wherein they are transmitting, I think probably probably electricity in 60 hertz. So I always had the question in place when I was in abroad, and then I was thinking why the electricity transmission is happening 60 hertz in abroad but 50 hertz in India. Are you getting it? Now I realize that the main reason of transmitting electricity beyond 50 hertz in abroad is that perhaps they are using that same 60 hertz electricity wiring transmission line for data as well. Probably they do a mix in a very encrypted way, which is very much possible in in electrical engineering. So that's it. Very simple. This kind of technology was existing probably around 200 years old onwards, and this idea basically inspired me to look after the history of power line communication. And I realized that through internet searching, that this kind of technology was existing since 1800s, meaning 220 years old, backdated technology. In telegraph it is being used. Telegram, sorry, not telegraph. In telegram, what they use the same existing power line for transmitting data. Telegram technology, through dot and various combination of dots, they are going to basically on off combinations, they are going to communicate over transmission line only, over power line only. So this technology was very much old, and then I realized that if I had done my engineering in electricity instead of mechanical engineering, perhaps this technology would have come around 20-25 years back. I did my mechanical engineering from IIT Madras. In 2009 completed, 2004 joined. It's a dual degree, mechanical engineering and master of energy technology. So 2 degrees, that's why it is called dual degree certification or degree. So anyway, so had I done my engineering in electricity, then this technology would have come, and we could have discarded all the unnecessary cables for data transmission. Nowadays what happens? In TV also, you have HDMI cable for data transfer and wiring cable for power transfer. In set-top box also, same thing. You have a data cable for data transfer, power cable for power transfer. Why there would be 2 cables in place even in TV? There should be single wire, na? Very pathetic in nature. Very pathetic technology, very sorrowful technology. Meaning nonsense technology. I don't know why electrical engineering engineers or electronics engineers have initiated this kind of idiotic technology. A TV, a backdated old technology, why there should be a two-way connections? A cable for data, a cable for power. Even in laptop, if you see a port for LAN connection, now it has been converted into wireless connection and a power connection. Everywhere, only even in smartphone also. Okay, everywhere two-way connection or two-wire connection only. Our entire Indian system, Indian environment has been fed with two-wire connection system. One wire for data transfer, one wire for power transfer. So you can understand this kind of nonsensical technology has been initiated for last 30-40 years, and because of which, and perhaps on street also, you'll see a wire for telephone and a similar wire, not similar wire, a wire for electricity. So you can understand this kind of things is happening for such a long time, and in spite of that we are not giving or taking an initiative. The initiative which is taking place, or in fact has taken place over the years for last 200 years, this technology was there in place. And after, I think, if I consider my age only, after 40 years only, electrical engineers are saying that in smart meter we will be using PLC, power line communication method, to transfer data, meaning a same power line will be used for data transfer after 40 years, and this technology was existing prior 200 years. So you can understand this kind of nonsensical electrical engineering initiations was there for last 30-40 years. And Aam Admi, I am from engineering background. Imagine a person, a baby takes birth, and the moment that baby takes birth, he or she sees electricity in place at home or in hospital, and from that day zero, if he or she has been told that there will be separate data cable for data transfer, his or her entire mind will be completely engrossed with that kind of information only for next 30-40 years, until and unless if he does not study the technology either from school side or from college side. He or she would never understand that the same cable can be used for internet data transfer also. It will reduce the web of cables. If the same cable can be used for data transfer along with power transfer, the web of cables will be reduced. Intensity of the web of cables will be reduced. It will create lesser confusion at home as well as outside. So this is the technology which I have recently understood from smart metering videos in YouTube, and I thought that my viewers, my subscriber, my well-wishers would understand this kind of technology is existing, and there's after existence of this technology for past 200 years, we have been given a technology, an inferior technology for last 30-40 years, given a harassment for this unnecessary cable, data cable. For last 30-40 years we have been harassed for using this unnecessary cable which we call data cable. A single cable can be used for power transmission along with the data transmission. So this technology, this idea was there being used in a very secluded way within electrical engineers domain, probably because mechanical engineers, I always had the idea in my subconscious mind that there should be a single cable through which we can transfer, and probably I always used to believe that by changing the frequency, because in high school science in wave chapter in class 11 I have read that there is a possibility of superimposing of waves, and believe me, electricity or data, these are all waves, a frequency mode. When we can superimpose a wave, why not the same technology can be ushered in a single wiring system, wherein a different frequency mode of communication in data along with a different frequency mode of communication in electricity can be superimposed, and the single superimposed wave or frequency can be transmitted in a single wiring system. So I was having this idea subconsciously. I read this technology in class 11 of CBSE board in 2003. This is 2026, around 23 years back. And believe me, this idea was there, and I was having in mind the latent need of this kind of technology. And sorry to say, electrical engineers have played a gambling with Aam Aadmi, with us. Being a mechanical engineer, why electrical engineers will play gambling game with us? Anyway, whatever it may be, so this is the technology which we have to take it. And probably, as all you know, data transfer can take place wire in wireless form also. And probably the next technology in wiring system would be wireless charging or power transmission. So my fingers are crossed. Datas are being transferred wirelessly. Power should be transferred wirelessly also. But I have this knowledge how it can be transferred. So my fingers is crossed. I'm waiting for that day when there will be not a single wire to transfer power as well as data. So I'm eagerly waiting for those days. And probably the topic which we all know, perhaps heard of. In my days, that topic was not very much prevalent. In high school science, we have read this topic called inductive charging. So through inductive charging, we can create wireless charging or wireless electronic device connection. So probably when the data will be transmitting through power line or electricity wire only, then there will be another need, a latent need. In marketing terms, we call a need which is not being addressed in your current timeline, but you have that need in place subconsciously. So that need would be wireless charging transfer or wireless power transmission. So probably when the data cable as well as the power cable will be integrated in a single cable, then there will be a need for wireless power and data transmission. And I'm waiting for that latent need in the future, and probably very soon. Nowadays everything is happening on data, on internet only, and this kind of education, internet based education, will usher in this kind of wireless data along with power transmission very soon in the future. Probably in next 2-3 years we'll get to get hold of wireless charging as well as wireless data transmission, and that we will be completely get rid of waves of wires. There will be no wires at home, outside home. Our entire life will be free of wave of wires. Will not find a single wire hanging on street lamp or hanging at our home wall. So that's it. Just a awareness video to my well wishes, and probably the current electrical engineers will try to act in these lines in the future, such that all the harassments happened over data cable transmission could be immediately reduced to zero, and that way our life at home and outside will become very smooth. So that's all. If you feel like giving a thumbs up to this video, please do so, and please subscribe my channel Ronnie's Identity in YouTube, and stay tuned for more updates and videos in the future. I wish you nice day. Bye.